Welcome back. It's week 10 with Peter and Parker. Is it 10?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's 10. And we're cleaning up and we're going to tell you about what's been happening with the boys. So we finally got them back this week. Well, you got them back.
I was like, let's reword that.
This video is brought to you by Einzer Wiener. How was he?
Interesting. Like, he's a fun little dog. If he's like played and fed and worked and calmed and all that stuff, then he's cool. He's totally chilled in the crate. Otherwise, like, it's a dimmer switch, not an off switch. Like, he's just always on the go. Be chilled in the house for like maybe 20 minutes and then's like, what can I destroy? Like, he just wakes up and chooses violence literally every day. He learned how to open the push button bin on the first night, so that made it all really interesting. And despite thinking I puppy proofed my backyard, like, he just found shit. He will grab anything that he can find, like rocks, twigs, random wrappers on the road. So I just sort of have to have an eye on him at all times when trying to like take him outside the toilet. Really new appreciation for my own dog and appreciation for people who have like multiple working dogs in their home. And Jazz with like 2 of these things.
What are you watching?
Just Parker doing parkour.
He's a funny dog, huh?
Just a puppy being a puppy. Super important, actually, this stuff. But, yeah.
Tell me what's happening with their tracking.
It's going about as good as this. No, their tracking's good. It doesn't look like it in the sessions because, well, there's a lot of reasons why. But they're tracking me all the way to the start of the track. But then when it comes to actually doing it in that moment, to go that short distance to get to the article, they're like, oh, hang on, like, oh, you've touched me and like you've like looked at me. Should I look at you again? So they're in a bit of a period where they're in between doing the article indication and seeing the thing and it being based on sight and actually turning it into tracking. It's part of the process. I just got to give them time to go through that process of figuring out, all right, I don't need to see the article, I have to find the article. So that's happening. We're also doing some searching in just a play format where, you know, I'll throw something, it doesn't even matter what, so long as, you know, it's safe. We used a stick the other day. I'll start to use like toys and normal things, but probably only from like here to this pole away distance, and only about maybe like this much is long grass, right? So super close, and then only a little bit into the long grass, but they can't see it when it lands, so then they have to go in and find it. So that can start setting them up for, you know, area searches and things like that later. But really, at the moment, it's just developing their hunt drive.
When the bass hits your face, you be like.
They really are becoming obviously more different.
Chalk and cheese, mate.
Yeah, in that Peter, still super possessive, like, I want this one thing, I want to have it. He has a little bit of conflict about coming back, especially to me. Because he's like, hey, you're the guy that takes stuff from me or attempts to.
It is a little bit different with me. Like,
yeah.
He's starting to bring things back and want to possess it then with me in my presence. But it's taken a lot to get to that. Where you were today is exactly where I was, you know, weeks ago.
Yeah, and with the one toy, he's like, I want this one toy, and he wants to possess it, and he bites it as full, hard, and deep as he possibly can. We used the Tucket Cube and the ball. It was the same from both. But then Parker
Yep.
is like, woo, what's next? And just wants the next thing, and he'll play with one toy for a little bit, and it's, you know, it'll be fine. It'll pan out, but we got to start sort of, no, man, like, get involved in this. And so he's a dog that we know we'll have to start building more obsessions with and keeping him like way more committed to one thing. We will need to have a lot of other opportunities for him that he can't take. And he'll be a dog that will need to like nepo back into the toy. It'll be like, hey man, play with this. And if you check out from me, it'll be like pop, pop, pop back until you come back in. Show him that, no, you feel like you have options that you don't have. Because I think that right now, while it is just he chases stuff, he's interested in lots of things, he's wondering what's next, that's a recipe for reactivity if it's not managed correctly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a trait that can turn him into a dog that loves to learn and will be easy to teach stuff to, and an easy dog to reinforce, because it's not about the reinforcer, it's about the pursuit of figuring the thing out to get the reinforcer.
Yeah.
But without cultivating that correctly, that's a reactive dog that bites this, then this, then this. Whereas his brother, Peter, we're going to have to be careful. Like,
yeah, the opposite.
Don't get obsessed with this. Don't there's other things in the world.
And
don't become obsessed.
Even don't stay on the same criteria in a behavior for too long, because he then will go, no, this is it. Like, it's not what's next all the time, like parkour.
Yeah, parkour,
like Parker. It's like, this is it, cool, you took too long, no worries, it's this now.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what happened to your eye?
It's my own fault. I walked into a door. But I did, really. My dog did a parkour move as I was looking in through a door. Rip called me, and I was like, what? And I looked in through there as Remy came running at the door, and it kablamoed me in the eye.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
Ugh.
Yep.
It hurt quite a bit.
Close your eye.
And then one of these puppies bit me on the nose. Apparently these are hard to get.
There's so many of them out there.
Apparently these are hard to get. I didn't know that. People are complaining to us about how we're bragging about using these. I just bought it on Amazon. It came a couple of days later. I did not realise they were hard to get.
I didn't realise either.
Look at us. We're Chuck It Cube wealthy. I don't have much, but I do have my own Chuck It Cube. Food training that you are doing.
Yep.
What does that look like currently?
So we've got shaping and we've got luring. Both very different things, but I use them both for different things. So with luring, at the moment, it's just a matter of teaching them how to follow a lure, like what my criteria for that is and what the rules are. So for me, I want them in contact with my hand, but they're not to be biting my hand. So teaching them how to actually do that. Once they understand that, then we can start to progress. But if like, I can't go teaching them, say, positions or proper obedience or anything like that if they're still mouthing all over my hand and it's now just an unproductive session or inefficient, So that's got to be the first thing. But that's the other aspect. Aside from luring, I'm doing shaping. So at the moment, they're just shaping towards the marker board. Now that is something that I'm going to use later. It's just the first exercise I teach for shaping because it's typically a pretty easy one, just to start unlocking their brain. Like, hey, when I stand here and do nothing, it's not me doing like the finished window of opportunity. In this way and in this moment, it's actually shaping. So they can look kind of similar when you just stand there and kind of do nothing. So,
but it's important, right? Because you're prompting that dog to be active while you're inactive.
Yep.
You're then usually clicking them into the idea of an indirect reward where they have to go over there in order to earn something that's over here. And even just those two things, they'll pay you dividends later on. They're really important things for your dog to understand, but in the process of training other things later on, especially the real world stuff that you're trying to do, searching and that kind of stuff like that, that is the foundation track of understanding that stuff.
Yeah, and this is one of the other reasons I do the marker board first, is because with a puppy, it's just so easy. How many times do you put something on the floor and the puppy immediately wants to investigate it? So hold them back, put the thing down, and then go, oh, I let you go. You hit it? Cool, click. Nice.
That's it. for another episode with Peter and Parker. As always, over here, there's going to be a bunch of videos that you can check out. There's the playlist of all the past videos. If you're new here and you're interested in seeing how we got to this point, those are there, as well as another video that YouTube thinks is good for you. And over here on my side is mine and Jazz's profiles. If you want to click on those, give us a subscribe, follow along, and you'll see more content from Jazz about what she's actually doing in the home with them. They come out when she feels like it, and we'll be continuing to do these weekly videos. These are about to get more exciting because they're actually becoming dogs pretty soon, and we'll actually be able to do real training with them, be able to show you a lot more of that. That's it. See you guys later.